Welcome to English class with Teacher Ann. Today is Monday, 4th of October 2021. The English home-based learning will be from 7:45 to 10:15 a.m. Assalamualaikum and good morning, pupils. How are you all doing today? I hope each of you is doing fine. So let's continue our lesson in Module 8. Where were you yesterday? Which is on page 78 and 79. Alright, let's look at what are our learning standards for today. So our learning standards for today is 3.2.1. Understand the main idea of short simple text. And 4.2.4. Describe people and objects using suitable words and phrases. Then let's look at what are our learning objectives. Apakah objektif pembelajaran kita pada hari ini? So by the end of today's lesson, pupils will be able to first talk about the life in the past, berbincang tentang kehidupan pada masa dahulu, pada zaman dahulu. Pupils will be able to write few sentences using the structure there was, there wasn't, there were, and there weren't. Ya, murid-murid akan dapat menulis beberapa ayat menggunakan struktur ayat yang akan kita pelajari selepas ini, iaitu there was, there wasn't, there were, dan there weren't. Alright, children, before we start our lesson, make sure you have the materials needed for the class. Ya, sebelum kita mula belajar, pastikan kamu bersedia bersama bahan-bahan yang diperlukan. Alright, the first one, Get Smart Plus books, page 78 and 79. Buku Get Smart Plus, muka surat 78 dan 79. Then your E1 book, buku E1 kamu, your pencil, ruler, pembaris, eraser, pemadam, and your handphone. Of course, you need your handphone and of course your ears to listen. Yeah, alright. Are you ready? Alright, children. Let's start with page 78 of your Get Smart Plus 3 book. Are you all ready? Are you all on page 78? Are you ready, children? Alright, let's look at page 78. We are going to read. This is a picture of New York City in the year 1900. It was very different then. There weren't any shopping centers or cinemas, but there were shops and theaters. Okay, this is a picture of New York City in the year 1900, or we can say 1900 maksudnya. Ini adalah gambar Bandaraya New York pada tahun 1900. It was very different then. Apa maksud ayat tu? Ianya sangatlah berlainan pada masa itu. There weren't any shopping centers or cinemas, but there were shops and theaters. Tiada pusat membeli belah atau panggung wayang, tetapi ada kedai-kedai dan juga teater. There weren't many cars back then, but there were lots of horses and carriages. Tiada banyak kereta pada masa itu, tetapi terdapat banyak kuda dan juga kereta kuda. The streets of New York City weren't quiet. Apa maksud ayat tu? Jalan-jalan di bandaraya New York tidak sunyi. Quiet means sunyi, ya. Quiet maksudnya sunyi. They were noisy and full of people, just like today. Right? They were noisy and full of people. Maksudnya mereka bising dan penuh dengan orang Just like today, sama seperti keadaan hari ini. Alright, this is the sentence structure that we are going to learn today. So please say all these 4 sentences after me. Teacher nak kamu ikut teacher baca ayat ini. There was a theatre. There was a theatre. There wasn't a bus. There wasn't a bus. There were carriages. There were carriages. There weren't many cars. There weren't many cars. Alright? Please say the sentences just now. Baca atau sebut semula ayat-ayat, 4 ayat yang teacher sebut tadi. And then copy down in your English book 1. Dan kemudian salin ke dalam buku English buku 1. Alright? Alright, have you read the sentences? Adakah kamu telah membaca 4 ayat tersebut? Alright, so now let's move to page 79. Jom kita tengok muka surat 79. Alright, okay, so we are going to do activity 2 and activity 3. Yeah, okay, we are going to do activity 2 and activity 3 on page 79. Are you ready? Alright, so let's look at activity 2 on page 79. Jom tengok activity 2, muka surat 79 ya. Alright, in order for you to answer this activity, you have to read activity 1 again. Kalau nak jawab soalan ni, kamu mesti tengok, baca semula activity 1 tadi. Yang kamu dengar tadi, yang kamu dengar teacher baca tadi. Or you can listen to audio. You can listen to audio 1. Ya, boleh dengar audio. No, not audio 1, but audio 2. Okay. And then tick the correct answers. Kemudian tanda tick pada jawapan yang betul. Alright. Okay, now let's look at activity 3 on page 79. Are you ready? Okay, so for this activity, look at activity 2 and activity 1 that we have done just now. Tengok semula activity 1. Alright? The descriptions about New York City yang kita dah baca tadi. Okay. Are you ready? Okay, number 1. Were there any shopping centers? Kalau ada shopping centers dekat New York City masa tu, kamu boleh isi were. Kalau tak ada, kamu boleh isi weren't. Okay. Number 2. Were there shops? Ada tak shops? Ada tak kedai masa tu di New York City? Kalau ada, isi were. Kalau tak ada, isi weren't. Number 3. Were there any cinemas? Ada tak panggung wayang masa tu di New York City? Okay, sama juga ya. Untuk semua soalan, isi were atau weren't. Okay, number 4. Were there any buses? Ada bus tak masa tu? Okay. Number 5, right? Were there many carriages? Ada tak banyak kereta kuda di New York City pada masa tu? Kalau ya, kamu jawab were. Kalau tak, kamu isi weren't. Okay, the last question. Were there theatres? Adakah terdapat teater di New York, di Bandaraya New York pada masa itu? Okay, sini isi jawapan. Kalau ada, isi were. Kalau tiada, isi weren't. Okay, so I hope you can do this activity now and then. Okay, now and here. Okay, sekarang juga. Okay, now let's move to another activities in your workbook. Ya, kita tengok dua lagi aktiviti daripada buku kerja kamu, which is on page 62. Daripada muka surat 62. Are you all ready? Let's start. Okay, let's look at activity 1. Alright. Let's read together. Kita baca sama-sama and then put a tick in the correct box. Kamu perlu meletakkan tanda right ya, dalam kotak yang betul. Alright, so let's listen. Dengar dulu teacher baca. Which one was Mr. Miller's town 80 years ago? Yang manakah bandar yang dimaksudkan oleh Mr. Miller 80 tahun yang lalu. 80 years ago, there weren't any shopping centres in my town. 80 tahun dahulu, tiada pusat membeli belah di pekan saya. There were only small shops. Hanya terdapat kedai-kedai kecil sahaja. There weren't many cars. Tiada kereta-kereta. But there were lots of bikes. Tapi terdapat banyak basikal. The streets were quiet. Jalan-jalan sunyi. Sometimes there were police officers on horses. Kadang-kadang ada polis yang menunggang kuda. There were 2 theatres, but there weren't any cinemas. Terdapat 2 teater, tetapi tiada panggung wayang. Okay, so I hope all of you can choose which one was Mr. Miller's town 80 years ago. Bolehlah kamu pilih yang mana bandar atau pekan yang dimaksudkan oleh Mr. Miller itu. Just put a tick in the box ya. Tandakan right pada kotak yang betul. Okay children, let's look at activity 2 on page 62 of your workbook. Kita tengok pula activity 2. Muka surat 62, buku kerja kamu. But this one can be your homework ya. Yang ini boleh jadi kerja rumah kamu. Boleh buat bila-bila masa kamu free ya. Ada kelapangan. Okay, look at the picture of this town from the year 1900 and write. Lihat gambar ini yang merupakan gambar pada tahun 1900. Kemudian tulis jawapan yang betul. Okay, so the answers are given to you in the box ya. Jawapannya sudah diberikan di dalam kotak biru itu. Alright, so you can just read in the year 1900 the streets. Isi jawapan. Noisy pada tahun 1900. Jalan-jalan apa? Noisy, bising. There were, terdapat apa? Number 2. There weren't any, tiada apa? Number 3. But there were horses and, tetapi terdapat kuda dan apa? There, apa dia isi kat situ? A few shops, beberapa buah kedai. And there, dan terdapat juga a theatre too. Sebuah theater juga. Okay, so please listen to this. You can listen to this over and over again. Boleh je kamu ulang dengar apa yang teacher baca ni to help you answer the questions ya, untuk membantu kamu menjawab. Alright, good luck. Okay, children, so we are about to finish our lesson today. I thank you for participating in today's home-based learning session. That's all for today. Don't forget to complete the task that I give you. See you in the next session. Okay, jumpa lagi. Jangan lupa siapkan tugasan yang teacher dah berikan pada kamu. Okay, so that's all. Thank you. Bye. Assalamualaikum.